guys, Laura here. I'm here today to do my May reading wrap up. I actually had a very good reading month. I was able to listen to an amazing amount of books, so I'm going to talk about those first just so I can tell you guys what I wound up listening to, and then I'll tell you guys what I wound up reading. But I wound up reading 10 books and listening to I finished listening to 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher after I finished watching the TV show, and I actually really like the TV show. I did enjoy the book too. It's definitely more of a focused book about Clay and just Hannah, while the TV gets you like an expanded worldview. I did put a video up explaining my thoughts on the TV show and the book, so if you want more information about that, go check out that video. And then the next book that I finished listening to was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This was part of the Hype Book Club, and we read that over the course of a month. I have read this book twice before, and I'm finally hoping that in July I can finally move on to The Dream Thieves. But I still really liked it and hope that I can move on soon. And then the next book that I finished listening to was a re-listened for me was The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. And it was the first book in his Greek series that follows the god of Apollo. It was freaking hysterical. I loved it so much. I really, really enjoyed it. And I was so happy to re-listen to it, and hopefully I'll get to read the Dark Prophecy next month. And then the last book that I finished listening to was City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. My goal is to hopefully finish listening to all of them so I can finally read Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows now that they're both out. I am definitely going to listen to Lord of Shadows because it is narrated by James Masters, who was Spike from Buffy. But I am going to read Lady Midnight, so hopefully by the end of the summer I'm going to be fully caught up. And then right now I just started listening to City of Lost Souls. And then the first book that I finished reading in the month of May was The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. This is the second book in the Charlotte Holmes series. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. It was a really solid mystery and a really solid follow-up to A Study in Charlotte. I felt like I really liked the fact that it was not set in a Connecticut prep school this time, and that it also really explored the relationship between Jamie and Charlotte. And I talked more about that in my video wrap, so go check that out. And I did do a Booklight vlogs about this as well, but I really, really liked it, and I hope you guys will check it out. And the next book that I finished reading was Mind Games by... Sorry guys, my cousin loves to call me when I'm making videos. Sorry. But the next book I was going to talk about was Mind Games by Kiersten White. This is the first book in a duology, and the second book is Perfect Mind Games, and the second book is Perfect Lies. This follows 2 sisters named Annie and Fia, and they go to school in a boarding school that focuses on kids with telepathic or supernatural powers. Fia has flawless intuition that basically has turned her into a hired killer, and Annie is blind but can see the future, and these 2 sisters have a dangerous mission ahead of them. The story is told through past 2 timelines, and it is a really, really fast-paced read. I really liked both the characters, and the world building was shaky at points, but overall I really liked it. So I'm excited to read Perfect Lies soon. And all the characters were really interesting. And then the next book that I finished and adored, and I have a review about this on my website, was Geekerella by Ashley Poston. I got this book at Comic-Con. I adored it. I gave it 5 stars. It follows Elle and Darian. Elle is this girl that loves this TV show, and it is being made into a movie. And Darian is the teen heartthrob set to play the commander, and they both unexpectedly develop a textual communications where they are talking about their love for this movie, when in reality she is the guy that he is the guy that she does not want playing this part, and it's a really, really, really cute romance. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It has an adorable little puppy in it. I did my non-spoiler thoughts in like a mashup review or just in a review. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. If you're looking for a super cute contemporary, I highly recommend this. It is adorable. 5 stars. Go out and read it. And then the next book that I read was a reread for me. It was Mission Titanic, part of the 39 Clue series. This is part of their new series, which is like 4, the Vespers are going to recreate 4 disasters. So this is the first book in that series. I read it before, but I had to reread it because a bunch of the other books have came out and I like missed them. So I really liked it. But this is the cover. The only thing I wish about this story is that we got a little bit more Ian and a little bit less Amy and Dan, because Amy and Dan are like the stars of this series, and I was kind of hoping that in this new series we would see Ian a little bit more, and I'm hoping maybe in these subsequent books in the series we will see Ian a little bit more. And then the next book that I wound up completing was the Owl Crate book for the month of March, which was Daughter of a Pirate King by Tricia Levisera. I really like this book. I gave it 4 stars. It's about this pirate named Alasa who basically has to get herself kidnapped by an enemy ship so that she can find a thing that her father, the Pirate King, really, really wants her to have. It is a really, really fast-paced story, and it shows a lot of kick-butt female characters in a very unfemale society, and I love the fact that there was the amount of females in this story and just how strong Alasa was. I love the reveal about Alasa's history. If you go check out my non-spoiler review summing up this and Carnival, you will get my further thoughts, but I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, and I can't wait for the sequel, which comes out next year. And then the next book that I wound up reading, this book I also got from Comic-Con, and it was called The Cruelty by Scott Bergstrom. And I got this at Comic-Con. It was signed by him, which is great. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the other mystery books that I read this year, but it's 3. I also did talk about it in my mystery wrap-up, but it follows this girl's named Gwen, whose father is kidnapped, and she has to go on this epic adventure to not only find him, but it also reveals just how much she's willing to do to get her father back. So I did like it. I would say it's definitely a harsher mystery, and it's like definitely upper YA just because of the topics and how cruel the girl becomes. But if you want my more thoughts, you could check out my mystery wrap-up where I talk about this. And then the next book that I wound up reading was My Last Kiss by Bethany Neal. This is also talked about in my mystery wrap-up. I really like this book. I gave this book 4 stars. It basically follows this girl named Cassidy who starts the book off as a ghost. She doesn't know how she died. All she knows is that she thinks that her last kiss was with the wrong boy. So it follows her in the present, trying to figure out what is going on because the only person that can see her is her ex-boyfriend, and she keeps sucking back into the past, learning at what happened in the 3 weeks leading up to her death. And it is basically a big mystery of, did she jump or was she pushed? I really liked it. I thought the world building was spectacular, and the dynamics between all the characters was really, really realistic to high school. But I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, and I hope that you will check it out. And then the next book that I read, and to go along with my Tamora Pierce reread, was Bloodhound. This was a rough book, and it literally had nothing to do with the content because I really like the character of Becca. I love the setting that we're in. These books are just way too long for the summer. So I'm going, and I've had this experience with Terrier. I definitely had this experience with Bloodhound. So for Mastiff, the last book in the series, I am going to do a listen to it. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to listen to it as an audiobook because during the summer, I want to read quick and fast books, and that is hopefully what I'm going to do. It was not a good reading experience just because I really just wanted it to be over just because it's like was close to 600 pages. So overall, I love the character. I love the stories that are told. They do get a little bit like, I don't think the books need to be that long. think that's why I get a little bit lost in the mystery, just because it's a really, really long story. But I like how it's told. I love the journal, so maybe like having her read it to me will be a better experience. So I'll check back to you guys when I read that in June. And then the last book was wasn't a planned book, but I just needed something short because I was reading Bloodhound and just wanted something short to read when I was watching stuff on my computer. So I started reading The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Cyrus Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. I have read every single book in the Shadowhunter series except for this one. Magnus Bane is the only character that is in every single book that Cassandra Clare has ever written. And this is a bunch of short stories written by her and a bunch of authors showing Magnus in a bunch of different times in his life. We see him in the past, we see him in the present, we see him with Will, the characters of Will and Tessa. We see him, during the Valentine War. We see him through a bunch of different times, and especially in the present. I really, really, really loved it. I thought it was spectacular. It was so fast-paced, and you learn so much about Magnus and see so many elements that are hinted at in the series, like what happened in Peru, what was Alec and Magnus's first date like, what was Alex's role in the first uprising, and how did he take Clary's memories, and who was there. I really, really liked it. It was a really, really fast-paced read, but I really enjoyed it. If you are a Magnus Bane fan and you have not read this, I highly recommend it. And then the last book that I read was kind of a random one, but I got it at New York City Comic Con, and I wanted to read it before I went to BookCon this month, or next month. So I picked up The Explorers, Door in the Alley by Andrian Kress. And this book was signed by her. It came out April 2017. It is an adorable middle grade story. There's really not much else to say, but I will talk more about it in a book haul that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it in a wrap-up when I'm done with them. But it's really, really cute. It follows this boy named Sebastian, who is a very, very science-based child, very, very logical. But an unexpected mystery and an unexpected choice takes him on this wild adventure where he realizes that logic is not everything. And he meets a girl named, he meets an unexpected little girl with an unexpected tie into his mystery, and they share a bond and a connection that creates a mystery worth a lifetime. I really, really liked it. I thought it was super cute, and I hope the second book comes out because it was left on kind of a cliffhanger. Those are all the books that I completed reading in the month of May. Next month is going to be insane because I'm going to New York City BookCon. I will definitely talk about that in an upcoming video. But these are all the books that I read in the month of May, and I just wanted to let you guys know what I read. Comment below. Let me know what's the best book that you read in May, and what book are you looking forward to reading in June. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!